All right, what's up, friends? It's Bike. Let's talk about the markets, and then I have some specific tokens. Let me get my list here. We're going to go over like Goldfinch, this one called Arc Block, Aerodrome. I'm going to look at Bitcoin first, then we'll look at Injective, Sol, WIF. Yeah, I think that's the only list I have so far for people that had requested things. But what this will be, and I'll timestamp everything. You can move ahead in the video if you want. We'll look at, different alts based on what Engineering Robo AI is showing. I've been featuring that a little bit more because people were asking what that was that I was showing in all of my, images and videos. I guess it's been about a month. It's become recently available. For a while there, it was just in beta, but now it's available to everyone. And there's even hedge fund managers that use this to help them. Probably smaller hedge funds, surely, but nevertheless, they do use it. So that will be in the description if you are interested in, seeing what Engineering Robo pricing looks like. And remember, there's two options. There's the AI version and the premium version. Both are pretty close. The AI version has about an 80% success rate. And I think the premium version, which has been out since 2021, and it constantly gets improved, both of them do. This is an actual engineer and a team that have worked on. He actually graduated with an engineering degree. They've been working on it, every week, and they will continue to work on it and improve upon it. But one has about an 80% success rate. That's the AI. One has about I think it's like a 72% success rate, and that's on a 3-hour and daily chart. So you can play a short-term type strategy. You can even go down to 5-minute if you want, but just be careful with it. This isn't financial advice, none of it, and you should only risk what you're willing to lose. So just be careful with all that, and always take profits. So it's just about being a good trader, a good solid trader. And it will get easier and easier to use. I'm going to show you some tricks that you can use. I'll even show you some stuff you can do for free if you don't want to have to spend anything. But also, I have a Discord that has Engineering Robo AI alerts, and I'll show you that here. Let's see, yeah. So here we have, Engineering Robo AI alerts coming through. If you just want to join the Discord for $75 a month, you could join us. And, as you make money from these alerts, then maybe you want to buy Engineering Robo AI for yourself. So, that's one way to do it. And then we track smart money as well. We have smart money alerts for that as well. And we do TA. The group is always talking about TA for long-term plays, degen plays. We kind of cover it all. So if you're interested in any of that, check it out. I'm not trying to sell anybody on it. I just want you to, have the highest potential earnings that you can on this next uptrend. So Engineering Robo AI will definitely help you get in and out of the market. And I'm just going to show you here some historical. If we look at this like a weekly, you could trade it on a weekly, you could trade it on a daily, however you want to do it. But you can see it got you in way down here, even on a weekly. This was a very solid signal, and you would have been able to play it all the way up to here. And really, it hasn't even given a sell signal on the daily yet. So you can go down to 2-day, 3-day, and just kind of look at it and see how best it works for you. So yeah, there's a lot of sell signals and buy signals when things are going sideways, but you're not going to find an indicator that will make you a lot of money in sideways ranges unless you go all the way down to a 3-hour. So if we take this area right here and I go all the way down to a 3-hour in that same zone, here's what it looked like. So there's a lot of different, there's a lot of signals showing up on a 3-hour chart, because remember, 3-hour just means that every 3 hours a candle is closing. So if you would have taken a leverage trade or something here, you would have made about 15% times whatever your leverage was. If it was like 3x leverage, you made about 45% in how many ever days that was. I don't know, a couple of days, 3 days. I don't know why my day thing isn't showing up down here. That's weird. Some setting got messed up. Where's that at? Anyway, currently what we're looking at, we've been kind of going sideways and down. I would say the major thing that Engineering Robo AI does for you, or premium, there are free trials, by the way, on that website in the description. So if you just want to do a free trial, excuse me, if you want to do a free trial on the AI version, just let me know your order number, for the free trial, and I can reach out to him and let him know that you want to try the AI version, because right now you just have access to the premium trial version. Okay, so the thing that it does, it keeps you out of big downtrends. Like, look right here. If you would have sold after this big move here, from here to here, and I think that was at the October move. No, I think this was the October move. So you would have gotten out right here, and you would have not had to deal with any of this drawdown here. You could have bought and sold, and you might have gotten a small gain, or you might have taken a small loss, but eventually, just like back here, eventually all this downtrend turns into a buy signal that actually makes you a lot of money. Because remember, sideways trends, you're not always going to get a perfect entry. It's a chop sideways. So you got a sell signal and a buy signal. You pretty much broke even on a lot of these. But then once you got this buy signal right here, I mean, this is very stress-free trading. You just check in every day, either in our Discord, or you check in if you've purchased this indicator. You just check in to see, is there a sell signal? Yeah, there's one right here. And sure, I mean, this ended up being close to the bottom, but what if it kept going down? You would have saved yourself all that drawdown. Same thing here. It kind of went sideways, but look right here. You saved yourself a lot of drawdown right here. Same thing here. Sell signal happened. There was a further drawdown. So this is a very simple way to trade, and it's just on autopilot, really, if you're a busy person. That's all you have to do. You just log in each day, check the daily signals. You can set alerts for any of this stuff, and then it's just trading on autopilot. As long as you trade like a bot, AI buy, AI sell, you're going to make a lot of money, potentially. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. We're still pretty much doing what I thought as far as the I don't know what's going on down here. You're pretty much doing the same as what we expected. You kind of came down, chopped up, and we could still come down one more time, right? I mean, the fear greed index is right about at the 50 mark, meaning people don't really know what to do right now. But we have seen smart money starting to deploy capital again, and I let our Discord know that. In fact, let me bring up that other chart that I forgot to add. I think it's this one. Yeah. So this one right here we've been watching. I said once this purple line starts flattening out, that it probably means people are starting to spend again, because this is the entry threshold. So we pushed way up here, and let's see what, I'd say about 60–70% of the tokens on CoinGecko were profitable at that point. And over here, before the 2021 top, there was, I think it capped out at about 94% of all tokens on CoinGecko were in profit. So that tells you that things are just way overheated, right? And the same thing happened here. I was actually alerting people late March, that it was time to take some profits, and it ended up being exactly the top of that mid-cycle correction. And that's all it is. We're just in a mid-cycle. We're between the halving and the U.S. elections. Historically, it's just been a choppy period, and then things take off after the election, or maybe a little bit before. So thinking October, up in October, and then November should really get going. And we may see a little pump right now even, but there could be more chop. Just be aware of that. So let's see. Currently, 10% of all tokens on CoinGecko are profitable. So the rest of them are negative. So what does that tell you? It tells you that things are oversold, right? So now I suspect that this is the bottom for this chart anyway. we could chop around like I was saying. But once this purple line gets above the blue line, see every time it happened right here? This was in October, and that was the big first pump. And then this was January 2023. And this is the one that was kind of the first impulse. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we still need our fifth wave. I mean, if we want to look at it with Wyckoff, but that's not really completely accurate to use on this chart. So yeah, I mean, things look fine. Maybe some more chop, we'll see. So let me get into some of these tokens real quick, and I'll talk about some of the free ways to do it while I'm doing this. So number one is the 30-70 rule, and I've talked about it before, where if RSI touches the 30 line, and it's not going to work every time, but it usually does. It touched the 30 over here, but it kept coming down. So that's why it's helpful to have something like Engineering Robo, or here's another free tool you can use. And I'll turn off Engineering Robo for a second. I've talked about this one before. You can just look up, it's called the Phoenix on TradingView. All of these are on TradingView, by the way. Oh, actually, it's called the ARTI. It's this one right here, the ARTI. So type in the ARTI and then click that. And then this is what it'll look like. Here's my settings. These are the only settings you need from here up. Just this box right here. If you copy this exactly, and you can turn everything else off and it's fine. What else? Turn off tables as well. You probably don't want that table there. So when this is red, you don't want to be in the coin. When it's green, things are looking real good. So you can use this plus RSI to help you. So if you saw this 30 RSI bounce here, but things were still red, which we may have to go back a little bit because this is a new token. Okay, so things were still red, right? And you got a 30 RSI bounce there. So you probably wouldn't have taken that. But when it came back to 30 and hit again here, once this went green, you knew it was probably time to go. Here's another 30 bounce you could have taken. So you could have either taken this one or this one. And then the other side of the rule is if it hits the 70 RSI and gets above it and then breaks back below, that's a place you can take profit. You don't have to get completely out just yet. And even now, it's not time to get out of this one. What you want to look for on a longer term basis is either you can wait till this turns green to red, or you can wait until this RSI is clearly below the 50, comes back up and rejects the 50. And that's the point that you would say, yeah, I'm just out. There's no need to be in this one anymore. Here's an example. I'm just using this as a quick example. So it came up, hit 70. Sometimes it'll reject off 70. If it does, then that's a take profit area as well. But it got under 50, and then it rejected the 50. And so you were out at this point. You wouldn't want to be in anymore. And I bet if I go down to a lower time frame, it would tell us here. Yeah, it was green back here, but it turned red about right there. So that was close. So here's your free way to do it. And I will employ, not this one necessarily, I usually have that one off, but I will employ RSI a lot of the time to know whether to get out. And the reason why that's important is because if you look back at Bitcoin at the last cycle, and let me just turn off, really pay attention to this because it'll help you a lot with finding the top. I've talked about this before, but say if you were lucky enough to buy this big black swan dip back in 2020, and you saw that momentum was coming up while price was going, or momentum was coming down on RSI while price was going up, you would have paid attention to that. And so it held the 50 all the way. We got above the 70, you're holding because you're a long-term holder, it's losing momentum, and then it loses the 50, comes back up, rejects the 50, that's where you're out right there. You wouldn't want to hold it any longer. And then, yeah, you got back up at the 50 here. You could have played it, but this is a little bit more tricky because it got back below the 50 and then broke back above it again. But then your 70 kept rejecting. And then here's your final rejection of the 50, or you could call it that one. So anywhere in here would have been correct to be out. You're never going to get the exact top, but look how much downtrend, drawdown you would have saved yourself. Now, I don't know if this is going to happen or not. There's a chance we could have a quick move down into this, what I'm calling the bounce area for alts. Once we get above this blue line here, above 65, 66K, that's where I would suspect that price is ready to go ahead and break the all-time high. But until that happens, this is still a possibility before November. So just be aware of that. And who knows? I mean, sometimes even after the U.S. election, there's a dip. So, we'll just have to see how it takes place. Okay, so TITANX, if we're looking just at engineering robo, we had a buy signal here. Currently, if you would have taken that buy signal, and by the way, sometimes if a buy signal happens, it can retrace 50% of that candle before it moves, but it didn't on this one, it kept going. So currently, it's about a 1.5x move. And I don't know how many days that was. Well, even here. So 27 days, 1.5x, not bad. We've seen much better results than that, but this one may not have made its major move yet. There's really not a whole lot of resistance till up here, maybe. So we'll see what happens with it. A lot of these newer tokens are risky, but you just have to manage your risk and decide. You can have your support lines. Oh, by the way, if you don't like drawing support lines, and I'm not going to go over everything, all the options that this has, but engineering robo does have its own support and resistance lines. This is currently a resistance. You may have to step down to like a 12-hour chart to see the supports, since it's a newer token. Yeah, there you go. So currently there's your support right there. If it drops below, then you're thinking, well, maybe I want to get out of this, but you can check the RSI, see if it's below 50. That would give you another signal. And the AI engineering robo may have already given you a sell signal anyway. So just stick to the rules. And there are also, I haven't talked about this much, but one other thing I just want to mention, there is an AI take profit signal. And I may have to go down to a very low time frame to see this. Yeah, there it is right there. So let me just turn this off to where there's not so much clutter. All right, so there were buy signals down here because you can see the candle color is green. You had two take profit signals there, were perfect. You had a take profit here signal that was perfect on this big pump up. Take profit signal, perfect. This is on a 3-hour chart, by the way. Take profit signal is perfect. I mean, what more proof do you need, right? I don't have the take profit signal set up on our Discord. You would have to buy engineering robo to get that. But on my Discord, I do have daily buy and sell signals. So it's more for longer term investors. And it works very well. I've used it since 2021. The AI version is new. I bought it as soon as it came out, and I helped beta test it and offer some suggestions. Yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to show there. I mean, if you were to go something like Bitcoin, it would also show you take profit areas on this on a daily chart. They're going to lag a little bit more. Let's see. Take profit. Yeah, there you go. So it was telling you take profit here before. Look at that. I mean, you were out before the sell signal, actually, right there. It's pretty close to where the sell signal was, though. And if you go back to last cycle, let's see. Yeah, you had a take profit there. Let me turn these off. I mean, this is just one feature. There's so many features to this thing. But you were getting take profits all the way up. You had to take profit perfectly at the very top, November 2021. I think that's what that was. Or was that December or something like that? Yeah, I mean, proof is there. And if we switch it to the free one, you're getting out much later. Yeah, it still works, but you're getting out much later. Okay. So let's do this. Let's kind of jump around to some of these tokens that people wanted me to look at for them. So we'll look at Goldfinch first, which I think I already have a chart for it that I drew my own support resistance. Is it GFC? No, it's GFI, isn't it? Goldfinch. Okay, so this is the daily chart. Let me turn this off. Get rid of some of this stuff on the screen. All right, currently Goldfinch does have a buy signal. I just want to point out one thing with this. If you're using Engineering Robo AI, or if you're watching the signals on our Discord, if you've decided to join, if these candles turn gray after a buy or a sell signal, it basically just means indecision. So it's not correct really to sell here until you get a sell signal. And here, you know, you saw it did turn gray there, and then it gave a sell signal. But look here, you got a buy signal, turn gray, and then it kept going. So you have to wait for the signal. But this looks like a bull flag to me. Looks like, you know, could have found a bottom, but we're not positive yet. It could still come down to here somewhere again. It is above the 50 RSI. It is bearish on multiple time frames currently, so it needs to get going again, right? I mean, if it starts turning red here, then it's probably got more sideways to go, or maybe a little bit down. The bullish line is the important line for me, because that's when I think it can take out the all-time high. I think that, oh, sorry, that's not the all-time high for it, it's over here. Anyway, it could take out the local high right there. But I think it's really hard to say. I don't want to say one way or the other to influence anyone. You know, it could come down just a little bit more, but sometimes these just need to go sideways. If you start getting more green candles, then it's probably just ready to go. I mean, it's just, you got to keep an eye on it every day. And that's the beauty of it. If you, like I was saying, if you're a busy person, you don't have a lot of time, you just check it one time a day after the candle closes for the day, and that's it. You just check your tokens that you're looking at. And I've already got about 150 tokens that we track on our Discord to make it easier for everybody. All right, so that's Goldfinch. Not a whole lot to say. It is a buy signal currently, if you want to take that risk. But if it has an AI buy or a sell signal, then you'd have to get out until it had another buy signal. So that's what we watch for, is AI sell. Let's look at arc block. I don't think I have that one. I don't even know what that one is. Maybe this is it. Oh, yeah, arc block. Okay, so we'll look at the Gate.io version. Here's the daily chart. Buy signal, this looks really good. Above the 50 RSI. Now, here's one thing I will say. When did this start? October 2023. So this one had a massive move. And then it had a sell signal, which is almost exactly the top. This was perfect. Look at that. Let's see. So buy signal here, sell signal there. You made a 38x in 229 days. Most people don't make that in a year. So yeah, that's amazing. And I've seen this multiple times. I mean, what you really want to watch for, by the way, is if Bitcoin has a daily buy signal, then you should feel free to speculate on altcoins or even higher caps, you know, whatever it may be, because Bitcoin has to be bullish, right? It's kind of the leader. It's almost like watching the S&P for, you know, legacy markets. It's one of the leading markets. So what happened is, what is this, October 27th? Yeah, October 26th, October 27th. I think that was right in here. I don't know what's going on with this chart. For some reason, it's not showing me dates, though. Oh, here it is, okay. So you got a buy signal much sooner, much earlier for Bitcoin. The bottom for Bitcoin after this buy signal, and this is what I was talking about, sometimes you get a retrace after the buy signal, so just watch out for that. So the middle of October is really when Bitcoin got going. And then when it had this massive candle right here on the 23rd of October, that coincides pretty close with this. So, you know, Bitcoin has to be really super bullish for alts to get going. But, you know, you can have a little bit more confidence when Bitcoin has a buy signal on Engineering Robo. So once we see that, we consider, okay, let's go back and look. So where's that day? It's right in here somewhere. Okay, so here's about the middle of October. What we could do in this case is, okay, let's bring up, where are our, okay, here's our support resistance option. There's our support line. It's already pre-drawn for us by the AI. We're hitting into that support. We know Bitcoin is bullish. Let's buy some. You know, maybe we'll buy 50% of how much we want to buy at support. And then we get a buy signal. Let's buy 50% more here. And then we just hold it. I mean, if I play this back for you, right here, and I'm gonna go really fast with it. I'll do it like on 10x. It doesn't reprint these signals. Once they're there, they're there. Once the daily close happens. So watch this. You're buying somewhere here around support. You got your buy signal. So you bought 50% here, 50% here. Look how much money you're making. No sell signals. Nothing but green. How easy is this? I mean, anybody can do this. Look how the support resistance lines are changing as price appreciates. And let's watch when it starts coming down. Now they're shifting. Yeah, these lines are shifting as price comes down to tell you where the support lines are and the resistance lines are. So you could have got out right there, almost the exact top, maybe within 10 to 20%. Now you got another buy signal. You know where your resistance is right here. I mean, I understand that $2,499 is a lot for an indicator package, but this is for lifetime that you'd be paying. You'd never have to pay it again. He does have that free trial. And again, this is in this description below. Just click the link if you want Engineering Robo. But there's also a premium version that's just $99 a month. It does the same thing, except you need 2 buy signals or 2 sell signals for confirmation. So it's a little bit different. I do like the AI version much better. There's more features. I know you would like it better too, but if you don't want to spend as much money, go with the $99 a month. Of course, do the free trial first. Do your back testing, make sure it's for you. But $99 a month or $599 for the year. And that's for the premium version, but the AI version is about $2,000, I think it's $2,499. It's completely worth it in my opinion. There's huge potential to make massive profits and lower your stress level. So it's completely up to you if you want to get it or not. You can use the free things that I showed you before too, or you can join my Discord and get the alerts there until you can pay for the version for yourself. Okay, so we looked over that one. I hope that makes sense. Let's jump over to Aerodrome, which I think I do have. Yeah, there we go. I hope this is the right Aerodrome. I think it might be, but we'll see. All right, I'm turning on Robo AI. I've got, these are my actual manual, and I do these for our members on tokens that we're looking at. These are my manual support resistance lines. Sometimes they may not be exactly the same as Robo AI, but that's fine. Or Premium, Premium does support resistance lines as well. Let me just see what it looks like. I'm confident with my levels though, but I'm also confident with Engineering Robos as well because it does a good job too. I guess it's not showing it on daily yet. So you'd have to step down to get these on some of these newer tokens. So like if I step down to like a 16 hour, it'll probably show it. Or a 12. There we go. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty close. It's not exactly the same. I like where it has its support resistance lines too, but I prefer doing my own manually. Sometimes I'll pull these up though. But I mean, there's so many options, and I've done a video before that if anybody wants to see that video where I showcase all the features, I'll show it to you. There is one more I do want to show you actually. Let me just jump over to this real quick. Let me remove all drawings. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look at this feature. It's almost like the pi cycle top indicator, except it's much better in my opinion. It's called, where is that? Is this it maybe? Best buy sell levels. Yeah, this is it, okay. So check this out. I need to turn off some of this. All right. So first I just want to show the previous cycle. The correct way to have played this on a daily chart is you buy when it's below this line here, and you sell either when it touches this line at the red, or if it gets above it, you sell when it comes back below. So it touched this line twice. And sometimes it's correct to sell as, if it's pretty close to it there. but you know, this is harder to predict. And then here it had this whole area as a major discount for Bitcoin, and it was right. And so now we're just kind of hanging out in the middle. We'll see if it can get back up there. If it does, this is going to be another way for us to say, yeah, it looks like the top's in. I don't know, I wonder what it would look like on a weekly, or if it even works on weekly. Oh, okay, yeah. It needs a daily chart. Well, this worked too. It actually got you out perfectly right there. Okay. Anyway, I think that's a neat feature. There's also a simulation feature, which I haven't, where's that at, simulation? I haven't really tested it much or learned how to use it correctly, but it will simulate with AI where it believes price is going. And you can see, you know, it kind of just looks, it thinks it's going to go sideways more, basically, for a little bit longer. Maybe even as low as 41K. But, you know, that's kind of an outlier. There are a few showing it pumping, but this is an outlier as well. So I'd say the majority of them, the average is probably right in here where it's at currently. It just sees it mostly chopping like we've been talking about. So anyway, something cool, you know, some cool features like that. AERO, okay. So let's look at AERO here. Do we have a buy signal? We do. You really don't even need these, by the way. I mean, I like to keep them up because it shows the signal. But if you see green candles like this, then obviously that's a buy signal because it does change the color of the candles. So we're above the bullish line. We got a buy signal. We're above 70 RSI currently. If somebody was already in this trade, you just stay in it until it gets below 50 RSI, or you get a sell signal, or you take profits as you hit these profit levels. Or, I mean, there's just so many different ways that either our Discord or Engineering Robo AI tells you the best places to take profits or, you know, get out of the trade completely. And you can even use this to short sell. I mean, if you like doing leverage trading. And so if I step down a little bit, since this is a newer token, I'm just looking for take profit levels. I haven't looked at this ahead of time, so I don't know what the take profit indicator is going to look like. And there it is right there, very top, it sold. Like if you remove all these other signals and just look at the take profit, look at that. Can it get any better than that? I mean, how easy is it just to check this every day or set yourself an alert that'll push to your phone and it says, or push to an email even. I mean, if you're on a daily chart, you don't have to move too quick on your trade. You could even wait until the next day to sell. You don't have to do it right away. Usually, anyway. I mean, sometimes the market's real volatile, but most of the time, it gives you time to get out on a daily chart. So, to me, I mean, this is an amazing indicator package, and yeah, I mean, I don't see why anybody, if they had the money, wouldn't want it. All right, let's look at INJ, which I really like INJ's chart. It was one of the first ones to move, and it caught a lot of people by surprise, I feel like. You know, early in the cycle, what was this, January 2023, which remember, January 2023, using this Nansen query here, and Nansen's link is below as well, if you're interested in, you know, following smart money trades, which we cover all this in our Discord, so you know, it's up to you. You could just come in there and get the information from there as well. But January 2023, remember, that's right when this purple line was crossing above the blue line, and that's what we're waiting for here. Once the purple crosses above the blue, that means the uptrend's already begun. Now, can it reject the blue line one time? Yes, it did it right here. It started to come up, rejected, but then the next time it got above it. So, you know, it could happen. Let's see what INJ is showing now, but that was the start of the trend for it. I guess I didn't have Engineering Robo set up on this one. Sometimes it takes a minute, well, not a minute, but a few seconds to get going here. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. So let's see what it's showing us. Sorry, I'm just doing something on my other screen here. I'm just looking at something. Okay. Yeah, so there's your buy signal that you got on the daily chart, and then it gave you a sell, but that sell was kind of a fake out, and that's okay. I mean, yeah, you might have missed a little bit of profit, but you had a lot of peace of mind, because if this would have kept going down, you would have saved all that money. You wouldn't have round tripped. Nobody wants to round trip. This indicator package will save you from round tripping. But your buy signal's here, it held the support, and then your sell signal was here, and now it's just chop chop to the side. But then eventually you got AI to give you another buy signal and pumped, and you got out right at the top, basically. You could have bought and sold these, yeah, and you're gonna lose a little bit of money on those buy and sells. You might even gain just a little bit on some of them, but most of the time it's gonna be a break even or lose, 10% or so. So now you got a buy signal here. Maybe it's ready to go again, I don't know. But it's kind of in no man's land. The proper way to play it is to wait till it gets down to a support level and then buy there. Or if it hits a resistance level, watch for rejection. And then we'll see if the support resistance shows up on here. It should. There it is. So here's all your resistances way up here. You've got a support line right there, the orange one. So this is an okay one to buy if you want, but just understand that if it gets below that support level, it's probably going to give you an AI sell signal, and it's time to get out. But this looks like a bull flag to me, and I would imagine this is close to the bottom for INJ. It went so much before, I don't know how much more it could go. It might be better to look for tokens that have more room to move up. However, this was one of the first movers, so maybe this is the cycle that INJ is going to do real well. So that's one thing to keep in mind. I don't like holding on to too many old tokens. Usually you want to have a mix of new tokens and older tokens. So keep that in mind as well. Have a good mix of tokens in your portfolio. AI, RWA narrative, things like that. And we cover all that in our Discord as well. We even have research papers and charts for that. And spreadsheets. Okay, so that's INJ. I think we'll look at SOL next. Is that it? Is that all I wanted to say about INJ? I think it is. Okay. Let me see if I have a SOL chart. Oh, you know what'd be interesting? Let's look at SOL BTC pair. I had a buy zone ahead of time on this one. It didn't tap it. I was going to buy SOL at this buy zone, but it never hit it. Yeah, it looked like I never drew support resistance lines for this one. Yeah, mostly chop. I mean, it does have a buy signal here because the candles are green. But yeah, I mean, it's mostly sideways. All you can do is just keep buying, keep selling when it tells you, and then eventually you're going to get a massive move. Oh, I was looking at the weekly chart. Now I'm on the daily. That's actually a sell signal. So it's not time to buy SOL yet. And what's our next one? WIF. Yeah, this one looks like it's getting back into the support levels. You did have a buy signal, retrace. Let's see what support shows. Always try to buy near support if you can. That's the best place to buy. Oh, where's my RSI? I do want to bring that up. Okay, RSI is above 50. You can see clearly that this resistance level needs to break for it to get going. If it came back down to this level, it would be proper to buy there, but if you close a daily candle below, it's time to get out, because you'd have a sell signal in that case for sure. This is a buy signal currently, though, just so you know. So if you did want to buy here, that's fine. Just realize that there's a 10 to 20% drawdown risk to the support line, possibly. It's mostly bullish, neutral. Well, it's mostly neutral, bullish. Smart money is out currently. That's another feature. But basically it's just looking at socials and the AI checks socials on a daily chart, gives you a social intelligence score. If it's in the green, and a 4 that's kind of, it's good, but it's kind of middle of the road. There's a 3, 4, and 5 rating. So a 3 is weak, 4 is pretty solid, but a 5 is the maximum score you can get. And that means a lot of people are talking about that token if it is. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about here? I think that's about all. Okay. In total, by the way, yeah, this shows you 4 different things here, and you can actually change this in the settings if you want to look at different things. But see, DXY is bearish. Total, total market cap, which includes Bitcoin and everything, it's mostly bullish right now, so that's a good sign. Bitcoin is mostly bullish, so things look pretty good there too. I think that's all I was going to show, actually. WIF was the last one. But yeah, I mean, I hope this was educational. I hope it helps you to understand the power of any of these things, really. The 30-70 rule, which here's the 30 bounce right there, right on, well, yeah, right on a support line, actually. But the only way you'd see this support line is if you had Engineering Robo. So you could have bought that, you could have bought this, any of these 30 hits. You could have bought this one down here and then sold at 70 because it rejected that 70 RSI and it hit this resistance level. There's just so many ways to use this. It really comes down to how much work you're willing to put in every day. You can be, I'm telling you can make 7 figures eventually with stocks. This works with stocks, everything. But you have to put the work in. I mean, nobody's going to spoon feed you the trades. You got to find the trades for yourself. You have to follow them. But you can make money for your family, get your family out of debt. I would say never use money that you need to pay bills. Always take care of yourself and your family first. Yeah, I mean, most of you know that, but it's good to repeat because there's people out there taking loans out, and I'm telling you, it's not smart to do that because you never know what the market's going to do. Don't put yourself in a worse position with debt. No matter how serious your situation is, you can always get yourself out of debt. But if you take a bunch of risks and put yourself more in debt, then that's when it becomes difficult. All right, that's all I want to talk about. Let me know. Actually, sorry, one more thing. I did mention SNSY. I wanted to show you a real-time trade that I gave to our members. I'm just going to show you the post here. Let's see, here it is. So right here, I told them on 9/17 that I bought SNSY after it had a buy signal right here, and it was above the 50 RSI. And so now it is above the bullish line that I had on here, which is a good sign. If I see a daily candle close above the bullish line, to me, that's very bullish. I mean, we're above the 70 RSI, which is great. In this case, I bought somewhere right here, actually. Probably, one of these 2 candles. But in this case, what I'm doing, just like I said before, there is the 30-70 rule, yes, where you buy at 30 and sell at 70, but it didn't reject here. It kept going. Over here, it did reject, so this was accurate to get out. And I actually did get out here after I bought this one back here. It was a small gain, but that's fine. Main thing is I saw some things that told me it didn't look good, even though the sell signal hadn't showed up. So I alerted our Discord that I got out right here. And now I'm back in. And what I'm waiting for, as far as taking profits or getting out of it completely, is I can wait for a take profit signal with the Robo, or I can wait until the 70 RSI crosses back down. I could take a little profit there, but I probably won't be completely out of this trade until it crosses below the 50 RSI and comes back up and rejects it, because I'm allowing it some room to breathe. It could come all the way up here to TP1. I may take some profit there. It may come up to TP2. I may take some profit there. It is good to take profit as things go up. But if you don't want to have to draw your own lines here, then you just let Engineering Robo tell you. And you can, put the AI take profit signal on, whatever. It works extremely well. We've seen it. This is a brand new token, so I don't know if it's going to show us enough here. Yeah, I don't think it has any take profit because mostly this token has been sideways. So yeah, there's no take profit signals yet, but I will be watching for them in the future. And I always alert our channel, our Discord channel, of the trades that I'm doing. And so do the other two people that help me in there. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Hit the like if you want, share it with your friends. I want everybody to see this because I want everybody to have the maximum potential to make gains on this next uptrend, because we've got one more uptrend to go. And it's probably gonna be just as big as October or even bigger, who knows? It just depends on what liquidity's out there and if, you know, the money printer's on, basically. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy your weekend.